Okay, what's going on, everyone? Swinging Bull back again with another earnings stream. I do these streams every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And the two companies we're going to go over today is ticker symbol PENG. That's Penguin Solutions Incorporated. And then ticker symbol SAR, just Saratoga Investment Corp. So let's take a look at these companies here and see what time they're reporting. So SAR reports at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. PENG also reports at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. So the forecast EPS for PENG is 37 cents. Forecast revenue, 339 million. Quick look at their annual chart here. Anchored VWAP just above $25 a share, so they're trading a bit above there. And SAR, Saratoga Investment Corp, their forecast EPS is 0.67, forecast revenue 32.4 million. So of course PENG has a bit more revenue than SAR. Looking at SAR annual chart, their anchored VWAP's just below $25 a share. They're trading a bit below there today. So let's go. I'm going to pull up Webull here. Getting a little bit of volatility on PENG and SAR. Kind of looking a little similar. The implied move for PENG is around 13%. So they closed the regular session at $27 a share, 13% implied move. So up or down $3.50, something like that. So if it gets a positive reaction, it might break back into the $30 range. If it gets a negative reaction, it'll probably be towards the low 20s per share. Got about 100 people tuning in so far. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Of course, you know I do these streams every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't think the data's out for either one of these yet. I think this is just kind of like pre-earnings jitters going on right now. It's 4:02 p.m. Eastern. Technically, both companies report at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. So just a few more minutes to burn here before we get the data and the earnings reaction. So since we got a little bit of time to kill, let's look at PENG going into the earnings. They did have a negative EPS, so we don't want to see that. But free float 51 million. Let's look at the income statement. And they are a positive net income company for the most part. So they are pulling a profit. Annual basis, they lost money in 2021. 2022 was profitable. 2023 was profitable. 2024 was not profitable, so they're coming off of kind of a bad year there. But zooming in on the quarterly basis, they've got 3 back-to-back quarters of profitability, so that's good to see. Debt to asset 67%, kind of trending down a little bit, so that's nice. Cash and equivalents for PENG, they got 700. This was as of May 30th. 735 million in cash and equivalents, 155 million in property, plant, and equipment. That's kind of like hard assets. So financials aren't too bad. They're not too bad. Let's go back to the chart. And also, just so everyone knows, PENG is Penguin Solutions, Inc. They are based in the United States out of California, and they are a semiconductor company. Okay, so they're an end-to-end technology company, and their advanced computing segment offers specialized platform solutions and services for artificial intelligence, high-performance computing, machine learning, advanced modeling. So very much in the AI space. ticker symbol PENG, and that's Penguin Solutions Inc. All right, back to the chart here. We're getting some selling. Remember, implied move for this was around 13%, which is about $3.50 per share. And so far, it's getting a, yeah, Volstag on YouTube. Good to see you, by the way. It's down 17%, so it's already kind of past its expected move, implied move. Let's see if it starts to form bottom. So their data must be out. Let me check on my other screen here. We'll get EPS revenue and all that stuff. Okay, let me go. Actually, I'm going to go to their investor relations page and get the data straight from the company. Let me go there. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right, let's take a look. Oh, you had Volstag had puts on PENG. It's looking like those are going to do well, especially if you were able to grab a strike price that was close to the money or even in the money. Those things are going to pay good. Let me move this over. This is their investor relations page. Here it is here, October 7th. Penguin Solution reports Q4 and full year fiscal 2025 results. We'll click on that. Okay, so keep in mind they are getting a negative reaction here, but net sales were up 17% compared to the prior year. EPS at 28. That's up quite a bit from the prior year. That's the GAAP EPS. Non-GAAP EPS $1.90 is up 53%. All right, so net sales are $1.37 billion versus $1.17 billion same time last year. Let's look at some of the fourth quarter highlights. Net sales $338 million. That's up 9% versus the year ago quarter. There's some commentary from the CEO. Let's see what they got to say. CEO of Penguin Solutions, his name is Mark Adams. So he says, fiscal 2025 was a year of strong execution and meaningful progress in our transformation from a holding company structure to an enterprise AI infrastructure solutions company. Our results highlight the momentum in our core businesses and our position as an emerging leader in designing, building, deploying, and managing enterprise AI implementations. And that's basically all the commentary on their website right now. Common stock repurchase authorization on October 6, 2025, which was yesterday. The audit committee of the board of directors approved a $75 million common stock repurchase authorization, bringing total stock repurchase authorizations over the last 4 years to $225 million. Okay, that's pretty good. Under the stock repurchase authorization, the company may repurchase shares of its outstanding common stock from time to time through open market purchases, privately negotiated transactions, or otherwise. The stock repurchase authorization has no expiration date, may be suspended or terminated by the audit committee at any time, and does not obligate the company to acquire any amount of common stock. Okay. Let's look at a few other things here. Business outlook. So the following financial outlook for fiscal year 2026. Net sales, 6% year-over-year growth. Gross margin, 27.5%. Operating expenses, $312 million. So operating expenses kind of went up quite a bit there, $57 million. Volstag on YouTube, you bought a put at a strike price of 25. Oh yeah, that's going to be a nice payday probably. Not sure what expiration date you did. You know, with the catalyst like earnings, you don't really got to put a lot of time on these earnings trades, because you know you get the move tonight, right? You'll be able to take the profit tomorrow morning. But the $25 strike put, selling for a little bit over $100 when the closing bell rang just a little bit ago, about 10 minutes ago. Well, yeah, you got a 62 delta on that 25 strike if you picked October 17 expiration. So, and that's for every $1 move. It's down almost $4 a share. Oh, it was already up 85% before market close. Yeah, I noticed that, without this big candle there, if you kind of zoom out a little bit, they were selling off into the close, basically downtrending for the whole day. So yeah, I could see those having profit on the table, but before the closing bell. But about a 60 delta on the 25 strike, so that should pay well. So it's down $4 a share. So you can just do the math with that. 60 delta 62, so 0.62 times 4. We'll just do 62 times 4. If it stays down here, that contract should print pretty hard for you. Bull stack, nice trade. Theta was only 0.09, so theta wasn't even bad at all on that. That's the October 17th expiration, 10 days away. So theta is not going to hurt you at all. Just from now until market open tomorrow, it's just a drop in the bucket there on the theta compared to the delta value. So yeah, let's see if it kind of stays down here for you, and you should be waking up tomorrow to a decent payday. Congrats on that put trade, the $25 strike on PENG. Let me look at a few other things. I'm going to go to the 1 minute chart and let me go to TradingView real quick. 1 minute chart. Okay. It's starting to fish hook up a little bit. Let me just look at a few things here. I'm going to actually go up with this to here. Okay, so about $23. That's kind of level to keep your eye on right now. And revenue, it looks like they did miss the revenue. So maybe that has a bit to do with, revenue for AI companies is a big deal. So they missed revenue. For the expectation was 342 million. They reported 337 million. So they did miss revenue. They beat EPS, but I think revenue is a little more important for AI company. Let's look at a few other things here. We got some better earnings later this week. I know APLD and Levi report on Thursday, so that'll be a fun one. And again, with PENG, they did announce the additional $75 million buyback authorization for the stock repurchase program. Let me look at a few other things before we switch on over to SAR, Saratoga Investment Corp. And here's a little, there's a little graphic here from earnings today. On X, I can move this over so everyone can kind of see it. So you can see here, they missed revenue. They nice beat on EPS, but they did miss revenue. And let's just look at a few other things here. I mean, I'm just thinking that revenue miss is probably hurting them. And then also they might have reduced guidance a little bit for fiscal year 2026. So that's never going to be a good thing. And let me go over here to this other screen. We'll look at one more thing. I was trying to find the bottom around 21.50. It's trading just above 23 now. We'll see if it starts retracing back up or not. I'm definitely rooting for my friend Volstagg to make some money on these puts by tomorrow morning. I'm rooting for you. Earnings lotto. So there was quite a few people that got in that $25 strike price, which is a solid strike, I mean, PENG closed the regular session at $27 a share. So you like $2 out of the money, close enough to being at the money, I think. We'll see. We'll see what the price does for the remainder of after hours. Of course, we got the pre-market data and stuff like that, but we'll see. I'm rooting for my buddy Volstagg. I'm gonna switch over to SAR because we got the reaction on PENG. I had a negative reaction. Before I do that though, I want to just find out when PENG's earnings web call is. That would be good information to get for everybody. So it's probably going to be under events here. And yeah, here we go right here. October 7th, Penguin Solutions, fourth quarter and full year, fiscal year 25 financial results. Someone had asked me earlier, they're like, why are they reporting, fourth quarter earnings when fourth quarter technically isn't over with yet? You have to understand, some of these companies have a different fiscal year. Okay, their fiscal years start and stop at different times. So technically, they are reporting their fourth quarter according to what their fiscal year is. A company's fiscal year isn't necessarily always correlated to our calendar year. Like you think, okay, fiscal year starts in January, ends in December. Well, some companies, their fiscal year might start, on Q2 calendar year. So their Q1 would actually be our Q2, if that makes sense. So that I just thought I'd clarify that for everyone, because some people get confused, and I've been doing these earnings streams enough to know that, these companies, sometimes their fiscal year doesn't start in January. It might start halfway through the year, and that's why it'll say they're reporting Q4, but really we're in Q3 on the calendar year. So just wanted to clarify that for everybody. So anyways, the earnings web call for PENG, just click on this hyperlink here that says webcast. First, let me copy this link. I'm gonna put it in the notes here, because PENG, it is an AI company that, I'm sure people are interested in possibly the earnings web call. Put the link on the bottom of my screen. I'll leave it up there for people to screenshot. That'll take you to the earnings web call for Penguin Solutions. Just find out what time it is. Okay, it's actually at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So their earnings web call starts in 13 minutes. All right. So just wanted to make sure I got that info for everyone for Penguin. So earnings web call starts at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Let me just put that in the comments too. So Peng, excuse me, I can't type today. Earnings web call at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll just put that in the comments real quick. Let me close this down. Looks like they're getting rejected right below 24. So keep your eye on 23 bucks. That's probably my support level number one on PENG. Now that the data is out, let's look at the bigger time frames. I'm gonna get rid of this Fibonacci levels real quick, just so we can look at this. So pretty interesting. I mean, it's kind of where it bounced here in the post market. It's kind of where the support was from a few months ago, almost 2 months ago to the day. August 7th, August 6th, August 7th, around there. Kind of bounced around $22 and some change. So that'd probably be my bigger time frame support level on this stock. If it loses like 22.50, this thing could probably come down a bit more. We can look at the volume profile, as a matter of fact. Let me go daily chart on this. So yeah, 22.50, and yeah, see, that's kind of what I thought. I'm just looking at the volume profile for like the past 5 months of price action. Okay. And you can see if this 22.50 level fails on the downside, you see like this big gap in the volume profile. There's not much volume that came in at those levels. So there's probably not going to be much holding it up there. So 22.50 support level number one. Support level number two is going to be just above 20 bucks. You can clearly see it here on the profile. So S1, 22.50, S2, you can call it like 20, between 20 and 21 maybe. I'd actually call it like 20 to 20.50. That'd be my support level number two. Not really going to talk about resistance levels because it's not getting a positive reaction. It's down 11.5% in after hours. down just a little over $3 a share. I suppose if it does start going the other way, you know, resistance levels is probably going to be right around $27.50 for R1. And then we could probably just call it $30 for R2. And has it been over 30 ever? Let's see. Yeah, it's been over 30 before. Look at this chart. It's just lots of volatility on this chart. Crazy price action on this. This is the weekly chart. But yeah, support level number 1, 22.50. Support level number 2, I'm just going to call that 20 bucks. Resistance level number 1 on the bigger time frame, 27.50. Resistance level number 2, 30 bucks. So nice, easy, clean levels on PENG. You can keep your eyes on. And I'm just looking at how much volume has come in over a certain period of time. That could indicate potential levels of interest, right? So now that we got the earnings reaction on PENG, they are doing the earnings web call in about 10 more minutes. I got the link on my screen. That'll take you to PENG's earnings web call. Let's go over to SAR real quick. Go back to trading view. I'll go 1 minute chart on this thing. I'll keep PENG on the left. I'll leave that on the 15-minute chart. SAR is trading on low volume. Overall, it trades on low volume, 30-day average volume, only 119,000. It did have 269,000 in volume today. So yeah, it was more than their average volume, but just overall in a nutshell, it trades on low volume. Anytime you get a stock trading on low volume like that, you're going to just see really spotty price action, which you can clearly see on the chart from today. Just lots of gaps and lots of spotty price action. So that's kind of what you get with when it trades on low volume. You can see it came off, you know, this stock SAR, Saratoga Investment, closed the regular session at $23.35. And it actually came all the way down to 23. Now it's back up to 23.35, right where it closed at. So you can see it's just really jumping around sloppy. And again, that's attributed to trading on low volume. Let's see if we got some earnings data on this one. EPS, revenue, anything like that. We'll figure out how to get to that earnings web call and then go from there. Also, the implied move for SAR, I think it wasn't even a big move. I think the implied move was only it was only 5% is the implied move. So you got to figure if it closed the regular session around 23, 5% implied move. We're talking only like a dollar or something, you know, either up or down. So implied move, not really showing them a big move at all. But let me see if we got EPS, revenue, anything like that. It's almost 430. All right, let's take a look here. FinZionex, I see the data that you put out regarding SAR. I'll just go over that for a second. So SAR for the bulls. The story is about balance sheet strength. That's what investors are wanting to see. NAV per share grew to 25.61, and credit quality is pristine with only one remaining non-accrual representing just 0.3% of the portfolio at cost. The company has over $200 million in cash ready to deploy, providing significant optionality and earnings power. So that's kind of like the bull case. The bear case, the story is about the income statement. Okay. Adjusted per share 58 cents doesn't cover the 75 quarterly dividend. Okay, so that could be a problem. 0.75 quarterly dividend and the adjusted NE per share is only 0.58. So a little deficit there. While the company has spillover income, the market will want to see a clear path to organic dividend coverage, which depends on deploying their large cash pile into accretive investments in a competitive market. Again, Saratoga SAR, this is an investment company. Hey, Volstagg, look at PENG. you know, it tried to bottom out around 21.50. There were some buyers, but it's having a tough time retracing. So I still think those puts will probably pay good tomorrow morning. Just keep your eye on it in after hours. But so SAR, you know, they got an issue with being able to potentially cover their quarterly dividend. So if there's any information that kind of proves that when they, you know, with their earnings data, that could definitely be a bear case. For the bulls, again, it's all about the balance sheet strength. And just a little bit about the company. So, of course, Saratoga Investment Corp, they're in investment banking and investment services. So they're a specialty finance company that provides customized financing solutions to United States middle market businesses. Okay. The company invests primarily in senior and unitranche leverage loans and mezzanine debt, and to a lesser extent, equity to provide financing for change of ownership transactions. Interesting. Going into the earnings, they did have a positive PE ratio, 9.45, so that's not bad. EPS 2.47. With that dividend yield, Webull says they paid 12.8% dividend. That's a big dividend. Free float only 13 million, so it doesn't really take much volume to move this. Let's look at the income statement and all that stuff. Okay, so they're coming off of a profitable quarter. On an annual basis, they got 5 years back-to-back positive net income. You know, so they've been profitable for the past 5 years. That's good. Balance sheet, debt to asset, 67%. That's fine. Oh, my screen just went blank. Okay. And of course, this lines up with the data we were looking at earlier. They got a little bit above $224 million in cash and equivalents as of May 31st. All right. Before I move on, let me just make sure there's nothing else I can share with everybody. Again, SAR's price action is just really spotty because it's trading on low volume, so it just looks real sloppy. PENG has a negative reaction to the earnings data, is still hanging out down here, trading around $23.53 a share, down 12.85% in after hours. Look like it's going to be a congrats to the PENG bears. Let's find out when SAR has their earnings web call. Also, SAR did miss. They missed EPS and they missed revenue. And their revenue was down 28% year over year, so that's not good. But let's find out when they're going to do their earnings web call, just so I can get that info for everybody. Here we go. I'll just go right to their investor relations page. Okay, press release right here. So if you want to dig deeper into their results, you can click on there. I'll put this link in the comments for everybody. And then let's find out when they're going to do their earnings web call. Okay, it looks like they're not doing their earnings web call till tomorrow morning. So they won't even do their call tonight. SAR, where are they located? Yeah, they're based out of New York in the US. So anyways, their earnings web call isn't until tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. But that link I just put in the comments, I suppose I'll put it on the bottom of my screen. If you want to screenshot that, that'll take you to the earnings web call. And again, it's tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Just go over to Discord, make sure I didn't miss anything over here. Journey on Discord, NEM is your set it and forget it long. Let's take a look at it real quick. NEM, that's Newmont Corp. Trading at 87 bucks in after hours right now. Nice and positive PE, nice positive EPS. They do pay a dividend. NEM, it's a metals and mining company. Okay, cool. Financials. Yeah, very nice profitable company. Look at that ascending positive net income. on NEM. That's what we want to see year after year, just pulling in more and more profit from the year before. Look at these year-over-year numbers. This is for my buddy $5 Journey on Discord here, who posted that. Nice pick. I like the stock. Balance sheet only 41% and declining. That's fantastic. They got $6.65 billion in cash and equivalents as of June 30th. Solid company. Very solid company. That's a good pick. I like the stock. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm gonna add this to my watch list and keep my eye on it. Maybe I'll trade this in the Discord with the members. Oh, look, they got weekly options too. Oh boy. Okay, now you got my attention. Oh wow, got some nice meat on the bones on the premium on these contracts too. Got some decent open interest. This is October 17th expiration, but there's definitely some liquidity on this thing. So thanks for putting my eyes on it. I don't think I've ever traded Newmont Corp, and I like the company just based on what I looked at very quickly just now. So appreciate that. Journey on Discord. Thank you. It's about 4:30. I suppose what we can do now, we did get our reactions. PENG, negative reaction. SAR, just kind of trading on low volume. It is taking a little bit of a hit right now, but again, it's on low volume. I mean, this is Webull, but look at the level 2 on Webull. The bid's at 22. The ask is at 23.50. That's a $1.50 spread between bid and ask. So just, one fill order at the ask and the price is going to jump right back up. So I don't even trust this price action, to be honest with you, just because of the low volume. So just going to have to wait and see if it ends up, more volume comes in and actually get a move out of this thing. But with that said, I kind of want to go over just real quick a spread trade I opened up today. I'll share that with everyone as just a little sneak peek at a new trade I entered today. And I did open up a spread trade on Google. And what I was looking at is, the market took a bit of a hit today, the indexes, right? The S&P and the NASDAQ. We did get a bit of selling. You can clearly see on the charts. SPY's starting to curl up a little bit, which is good. So is triple Qs starting to trend up a little bit here. We'll see if that turns into a bear flag or not. But looking like we got some recovery from today's low. So that's good, and that actually bodes well for the spread trade I opened up. So let me just go over the spread trade real quick. Again, if you want to get these trades in real time, join the Discord. There's links in the description. Or you can just jump right into my coaching group. I got over 90 people in my coaching group right now. Everyone's been making really good money. And that's where I put out the alerts real time, right when I enter them. Also let them know if there's any management that needs to be done as we're progressing through the trade. I let them know exactly when I'm closing them out and all that good stuff. So if you're interested in getting these alerts real time, just come join the Discord. And if you do join, tag me in the chat. I'll come by and say hello and we can chat for a little bit. But just real quick, here's the trade I opened today. It was a put credit spread on Google. Technically, it is a bullish strategy, but it also works in a neutral environment. That's why I like trading credit spreads a lot, because we don't really need a directional move. All right. And chance of profit on this was 77%. So I like that. And basically what I did was, and by the way, when I trade Google, I trade the one with the L on it. So GOOGL. Okay, those are the Class A shares. GOOG, those are the Class C shares. I like trading the Class A shares. Excuse me. So GOOGL opened up a put credit spread. And at the time, Google was trading a little bit above 246. Just go back and see what they're trading at. They closed the regular session. Yeah, they closed at 245.76. So that's fine. That's fine. The point of the trade, though, let me just go over the point of the trade. Hold on 1 second. I lost my, there it is right there. Okay. So what I did was on the same trade ticket, I sold to open the 237.50 strike, and I bought to open the 235 strike. This is on the put side. Now, some people that don't have experience with spreads would think, well, you're trading puts. Isn't this a bearish trade? No, because overall I'm receiving a credit, which means we're technically short the puts, which is the opposite. So anytime you're short something, you're kind of doing the opposite. So technically I'm short the puts, which means this is a neutral to bullish trade. It's a $2.50 wide spread, which means your broker will tie up $250 in buying power while this trade is open. Now, out of that buying power being tied up, we received a $50 credit. So that tells you right there that this pays a 20% return on capital if the trade works out. And we don't even need Google to make a move up with a trade like this. That's why I like credit spreads. Google could literally just trade sideways in the 240s, and this would be a winning trade. The only thing we really care about, or the thing we care about the most, is we determine what our break even is. And to determine, and now this would be the break even at expiration. Let me clarify that, okay? So the break even at expiration is the strike we sold to open, which is the 237.50, minus the credit we received, which we got $50 on this trade. For each spread, I usually do a handful of these, but 237.50 minus the credit we received means our break even at expiration is 237. So really all I care about is Google staying above 237 by expiration. And the expiration is October 17th. That's only 10 calendar days. So we're not married to the trade. We don't have to, hold it forever. And this thing pays 20% return on capital if we get max gain on it. So very easy trade. That's why I like trading spreads. The price of Google could actually go against us. I mean, it was trading at around 246 when I opened it. Google could sell off to the high 230s or 240. It could go against us by 6 points. But as long as it's still trading above 237, it's going to be a winning trade at expiration. Okay. So this was just kind of give a lot of people on the social platforms I'm streaming to right now. We got almost 500 people tuning in. This is the types of trades that I like doing over here in the Discord. Also run a ton of the wheel strategy. Most of my trades are sell to open. So if you've ever been interested in being on the selling side of the opening transaction, that's basically what I do. That's the way I trade, okay? So if you've ever been interested in trading that way and you don't know really anything about it and you want to kind of get involved in that, come check out the Discord. Not financial advice, but obviously for educational and entertainment purposes. But join the Discord and you'll get trades like these in real time. And let's just scroll up on some of my other trades. This was yesterday. This is the profit I took yesterday. Had a trade on UMAC, which is a drone company. And I was trading Mara. And then I traded Ford. Got almost $200 yesterday in profit, so that was good. But yeah, just kind of give you an idea of some of the trades that I do. This was the spread trade from last week. We did a neutral to bullish trade on OSCR, bagged 71% on that, put that right in my pocket. And I give everyone updates on how my trades are doing. And oh, look, we got a poll here. This was a poll taken in the Discord. So out of 41 votes, basically it found this channel extremely useful and essential. Here's another spread trade that we did last week. This one paid 35% return on capital. That was a solid winner. But yeah, I usually have 4 to 6 open trades going at one time, and then so that's kind of like my pipeline. And as I'm closing trades down for profit, I replace them with new trades. And then also I did start a $2,500 account challenge. Just wanted to remind everyone about that. This is my X account. So I've been putting a lot of the updates on the account challenge on my X account. And if you want to follow me on X, I'll post my handle here in the comments. Follow me on X. And matter of fact, I'll just put this link right here. Okay, so that's the link to follow me on X. I'll post that on the bottom of my screen. Basically, swinging bull _1. But anyways, I've been updating this. I started this I started this account challenge for $2,500. Now I've already pulled in 9.5% return on the entire portfolio in just 5 weeks. And of course, anyone can make a graphic, but I do post all the trades in here as well. Just scroll down a little bit on here. And yeah. So right here. So you can see all the contracts I trade, the strike prices, the expiration dates, all that stuff. And we've been trading bull, JetBlue, Mira, TSLL, of course, related to Tesla, and UMAC. Those are just some of the tickers I've been trading lately. And we've been doing real well. So yeah, if you want to stay up to date on the $2,500 account challenge that I started to see how it's progressing over time and how much of a return on the entire portfolio that I'm getting over X amount of time, give me a follow on X, and you can see all the updates on there. But yeah, other than that, that's really all I got for today. Looks like PENG, just to recap on that, negative reaction to the earnings data. It's still kind of hanging out down here, down 12% in after hours. So just keep your eye on it. I know there actually was, outside of Volstagg on YouTube, there were a few other people's trading puts on this going into the earnings. So it's looking like a graps to the PENG bears. And we'll see if you guys get a nice paycheck tomorrow morning when the opening bell rings for the regular session. Yeah, it's about 4:45 p.m. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap the stream up. Appreciate everyone coming to hang out. Again, my name's The Swinging Bull with PB Alerts. If you're looking for a new trading home, check the links in the description. You can join the Discord. Come check us out, see how you like it, and go from there. But other than that, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their night, and I'll see everyone in the very next stream. Cheers.